Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Joshua Suliruka here, your host of the Impact Podcast Show. Now guys, before I introduce our next special guest on the Impact Podcast Show, I just want to state two things. The first thing is for those that are listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I want to say thank you for listening. And also to those that are watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching this video. And guys, make sure you guys like this video. If you do like this video, comment if you guys got any questions that you want to ask either the special guest or myself. And most importantly, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you guys click on that bell button so you guys can get the latest updates to our video. And so that's the first thing I wanted to share. And the second thing I want to share just briefly is on our mission. And our mission is simple. Our goal is to focus on impacting the one. And so guys, if you have someone out there that you're wanting to impact or that can be impacted by this video, make sure you guys share this to them and that will be cool. And so guys, I'm so excited to get into the podcast. This has actually been like a couple months in the making in terms of planning. But guys, before I do introduce him, our next special guest, I want to share just briefly a story. Now this is going to be funny because I don't know if he actually knows this, but I actually knew this guy from high school, right? I actually seen this kid in high school, and as much as I don't know what he's thinking at the moment, but I'll never forget this guy's head. That's for sure. I'd actually never forget this guy's head. And funny enough, just to give you guys a brief story, the first time I actually seen this guy wasn't actually a couple of months ago. It was actually a couple of years ago, and it was actually in high school. We actually went to the same high school, which was Fairfield High School, and I think it was at his year 6. He had some sort of like orientation day or something like that. And for me, I was like helping out. I was in the SRC at the time. Bro, could you kind of state briefly when, what year you started? Like in year 7. What was it? What was the year?
2014, bro.
2014, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, in
2013, but
yeah,
we met.
Yeah. So in 2013, I remember meeting this guy, and I remember meeting his parents too. Yeah, I remember meeting this guy. He's probably cringing right now. But yeah, bro, I actually remember that, which is crazy.
You know what I mean, bro? I was about to bring it up too.
Yeah. So we'll probably talk more about that during the thing. And I remember meeting this guy, and I was like, oh, true. Big guy. Like, this guy was a big kid back then. But I don't know. There was something about this kid. Back then. He's no longer a kid now. Like, he's already finished school and stuff. But just to kind of give you guys a brief story, that's kind of the first time I met him, and we went through the same school. We went to the same school, and I don't know. There was just something about this guy that I kind of resonated with. But obviously, me being older and me being kind of in that, I was in year 10 at the time. In 2013, and obviously I was slowly getting into finishing school, and so this guy was a lot more younger. This guy was in the year 7 and 8 stage, and so he was like a little junior, high, as they would say, high school kid, and I was already kind of growing up and wanting to kind of get out of school and start to focus on my own thing. And so I guess honestly, if I had to be real before I actually get in, I felt like there was opportunities for me to invest in this guy. But I get to invest into him right now. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like it's meant to happen. Like, these things are meant to happen. And so, guys, I want to introduce you, Luka James. Yeah, Luka James. Yes, JB.
No, sorry, guys. James.
Yeah.
James.
Yeah, James. Bro, why did I say JB? What the hell?
Oh, good.
Freshy, bro. But yeah, man, how you going, bro?
Bro, I've been doing good, man. Doing good. Living, man.
Yo, he's living. And guys, if you guys don't know, no, he's actually going to share it. I'll get him to share it. I'll get him to share a bit about who he is. So, bro, for those out there, I know that there's people out there listening or watching this video, and they may know who you are, but I know that there may be other people out there that may not know you. So, bro, could you kind of share a bit about who you are?
All right. So, my name is Luka. I'm a video editor. I've got a YouTube channel called StayHydrated Visuals. I've been editing for probably since the end of 2018. So yeah, I'm a creator. Pride myself on being a poly creator. So yeah, that's me, bro. That's me.
Nice, bro. I love that. I love that it was so simple. Just kept it real simple, bro. Simple, straight to the point. But yeah, so guys, the reason why I got him on board is I want to get to know more about who Luka is and his story behind. Not much so on what he does, but on who he is. I feel like it's really cool to kind of put a kind of put a face to the visuals, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, behind, you know, Stay Hydrated. And guys, if you guys don't know, you know, this guy creates like these mad videos, bro, like these mad UFC highlights. And he's probably not going to say that it's cool, but I'm going to say it's cool. I've been following this guy for a couple months now, and I've been seeing his visuals, man, and just even the connections that he's been able to connect with in terms of people. You know, he's able to connect with certain people now, especially in the UFC kind of system. And this guy, I know that this guy really prides himself in terms of the UFC. He loves his UFC, man. Like every time, like anything that comes up, the first thing I'm thinking about is, bro, when's the next UFC highlight coming up, bro? That's the first thing I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, full waiting on it. But yeah, we're gonna go on a journey today. We're gonna be able to kind of understand, you know, what's the life behind a UFC creator in terms of creating videos and visuals and like kind of like what's the real side of it, like what are the real kind of setbacks that you go through, you know, what's the real things that we go through in terms of being a content creator. And so yeah, man, I'm thankful that you got like that you took the time out to jump on board. I know that you'd be doing other things like working on you know, yourself, either, you know, going training,
yeah,
or having them cold showers, and certain things like that. But yeah, man, I'm thankful that you've taken the time to jump on.
Bro, it's an honor, man. For real, thank you so much.
And so,
let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. And so, bro, I guess knowing that you shared a bit about who you are, I wanna kind of get into the background story behind you, man. You know, one thing I believe in is before the glory, there's always a story. You know, there's always there's always a story. You know, there's always a story behind your glory times. Like I've seen your statistics, as they would say, your analytics, and you've been able to get a certain odd following. And in terms of your YouTube page, bro, like it's growing, man. Yeah. It's growing, and so I want to know a bit about, you know, your story, about who you are, you know, and then we'll get into sharing a bit about your content. And so. Bro, I guess, do you want to share to the people on, you know, a bit more about who you are and kind of understand about, you know, your upbringing?
All right. So for me, I've always been like kind of not what do you call it? I'm not antisocial, but like I enjoy time by myself, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've always like kind of resonated being by myself and just being in my own lane. But I could talk to people. I love communicating with my mates and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've always been like kind of like a lone wolf, as they say, for me. So like being a creator, you know, editing is like very lonely times, you know. You're just in the room by yourself, editing hours by yourself. So like I've always kind of connected with that. So I think that's what made me connect with being an editor and creator, just being with myself, being relaxed environment, just creating, doing me, you know.
I love that, man. I love that you shared, bro. Honestly, I love that you shared that. You know, people would kind of consider you as a lone wolf. So, bro, like, would you consider yourself as an introvert?
Yes,
like, is that?
Yes, I know, because like I enjoy my time at home. You know, I'm a homebody, but I still like I can always talk to my mates. Like my mates know me. I connect with my mates. I've got heaps of friends and I talk all the time. But I'd always to be honest, I'd always rather stay home, create stuff, or just kick back with the family than going out and that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So I'm guessing that's your favorite room. Like if you had to consider it as rooms, like your favorite room is being at home.
Yeah.
Like kind of doing things on your own. Yeah.
Me, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, bro, and that's cool, bro. Like, I realized, like, because, you know, like we're both content creators. You know, like you're creating content, it's like specifically in doing like UFC highlights and videos. Whereas for me, I'm just creating like videos in terms of adding a lot more value to people. And so, it's cool to see that for me, because like I'm very extroverted. Like I love connecting with people. But the cool thing is I can actually kind of drive myself down and come to a place of understanding people like yourself who are like wanting to kind of be alone and do their own thing and would rather stay home. Like if you had the choice, you would choose to stay home and create content, right?
Yeah.
Whereas for me, if I had to make a choice, I'd go out there and spend a whole day with people.
Yeah.
And it's cool though, because like I'm an extrovert and I would consider you as an introvert. And as a content creator, that doesn't kind of cut it off. If that makes sense. Because I feel like some people might be making it as an excuse to not create content because, because like you need to be out there. When it comes to me being on a camera, that's no issue. Whereas for other people, like it's like no, I don't want to do it. I don't. I'm really hesitant. And so, but it's cool, man. It's cool that you've jumped on board on the podcast and even just kind of sharing a bit about who you are.
Yeah.
And so, bro, what I want to do now is I want to understand a bit about your upbringing. So could you kind of share a bit about your upbringing? Because I know that you mentioned a bit about you like being at home and like how that got you to a point where you're editing your videos. But could you kind of share a bit about your upbringing?
Oh, okay. So my dad's a Samoan, my mum's a Māori. So as Polynesians, we have big families.
Yeah.
We're always connecting and all that kind of stuff. But like me, I'm the oldest out of all my cousins. So like going back to the lone wolf thing, I've always like been in my own lane, because I've always been the oldest and I've grown up the most without, them in my life. But like I was saying before, like that's helped me to be who I am. Being an editor, editing and also with editing, what I try to do is bring out something that no one's seen before. Doing me, like being different kind of stuff. So like, my upbringing helped me be who I am creative-wise,
Yeah, 100%. And so, bro, are you like, because you mentioned about cousins, so like you don't have any siblings?
No, I got two younger brothers. So,
okay, so you got two younger brothers.
I'm the oldest out of all my cousins and my brothers and all that.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm like the first of my generation,
Yeah, that's mad, bro.
Yeah,
it's mad, bro. It's mad that you're actually, utilizing your platform, of content creating and editing videos, because you never know, bro. Like there might be like your family may be wanting to do it just because you're doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, 100%, man. And so, bro, like I wanted to, like you mentioned a bit about your upbringing. Like your dad's Samoan and mum's Māori.
Yeah.
Had that ever taken an effect in terms of who you are? Like, has there been any kind of like upbringing, like because you were brought up as a poly? Has there been kind of like any kind of struggles that you've gone through as growing up as a poly?
Not really. Like I've always been proud of who I am. That's made me who I am. I'm proud to be a Samoan. I'm proud to be a Māori. So even like creatively, or like say if and when I make it, I'm always gonna carry my blood in that. I'm always proud of that. Proud poly.
Yeah. That's bro. That's amazing, man. Because I've met a couple of people that aren't that aren't prideful, or not prideful, like proud. Like they're not proud of their culture, and so it's cool, bro. That you still got that instilled in you, and so. Bro, at this time, man, I wanna get straight into it in terms of talking about how we met, about how we met, and just kind of. I think this would be cool for the both of us to kind of get a
bro, like even when I had the thought of coming on the podcast, I was gonna bring this up because I remember. I don't know if you remember, but now hearing you talk about it, I'm glad you remembered it.
Oh, bro, I fully remember, bro. Yeah, and like it's cool, bro. Like we'll have a chat about that because I don't know. I want to see where like I'm curious. I'm a curious guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I wonder, bro, because that was like 2013. That was like I don't know how many odd years, like 7.
How old were you then,
bro? At that time, I was in year 10, bro, and I was 15. Yeah, I was only 15 years old, bro, at that time. Yeah, I was 15. Oh my gosh, bro, I was 15. So yeah, so the time that we met was 2013.
Yeah, on orientation day.
Because 2014 was when he started, eh? Yeah. So I was in year 11 in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was 15 at that time. Like and like when we met, and so yeah. But you know what? Instead of me explaining it, I'm gonna get Luka to explain a bit about his experience on how we met, because this is gonna be funny, fam. This is gonna be funny as.
So it was orientation day. Like people that don't know, orientation day is like before you go to high school. as a year six, you go in and you explore and you see what we do in high school, that kind of stuff. And Josh was like leading as the leader and showing us around and that kind of stuff. But I think the first time, before the story you're talking about, the first time I saw you was you were hanging out with all the poly boys, like Fana and that, and all around, I think it was around the bubblers back then.
Oh, yo.
I was sitting by myself because I didn't go to Fairfield Primary. Everyone that went to Fairfield High School went to Fairfield Primary. So everyone was like with their cliques and all that. I was by myself. I was sitting in the corner. Like,
yeah.
So then I saw Josh was like, "Oh, bro, come sit with us. Come hang out with us." This and that. We're talking. And then I think after that we went to the auditorium. And then later on, I think it was like lunch, sausage shizzle. And I was with my parents. And then we were walking, and then I think Josh was walking past me, and my dad, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Because my dad, he's a youth worker, yeah? So, like, he knows how to connect to younger kids, especially Polynesians, you know? And he goes up to Josh, and he goes, "Bro, what's your name?" And then Josh said his name, and my dad's like, "Oh, yeah, take care of my son, bro. Take care of my son." And then Josh goes, yeah. And he walks off. Ever since that day, I've been cringing, like, "Oh my goodness, Dad, what are you doing, bro?" But wow. I understand what he's trying to do, but that's the first time we met, yeah.
Yeah. That was the first time, guys, that we met. In high school. I remember at that time, like the reason why we're doing that was because I was in SRC. I was in SRC that year, and that was my role. That was my role to help out. And funny enough, at that time, I had just entered into being in the SRC. I wasn't always in terms of like for those that are listening, like SRC is like your like student representative council. So like I was a part of that. I only just got in that year, and then obviously year 11 and 12, I was still in it, and so that was a funny first.
What were you like? What were you like when you first saw my dad? He was like, "Take care of my son, please."
Oh, bro! All I seen was like this big dude, bro, and he's like telling me, like, look after my son. And like honestly, like I'll be real with you, right? At that time, I had no offense to it. Like I didn't get offended or anything. Yeah. The one thing I said to myself, and bro, I'm not gonna lie, I still say to this day, bro, the one thing I actually regret is not actually investing into you as much. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I was thinking about it, like even to this day, bro, even right now, like I was like, even just before you jumped on, whenever I think about your head, I always think about that thing that your dad told me. You know, your dad would say to me like, "Oh, hey man, like make sure you look after your like my son." And for me, like I took that to heart, like as in I took that in, and I said, "Bro, I feel like because you said that to me, like it's a commitment." Yeah. And like I felt like I thought about it. I was like, "Man, it would have been totally different if I actually invested into this guy."
No, I know what you mean. Like, even when I was in high school, like, bro, I didn't even see like the younger kids. You know what I mean? When I'm in year 10, bro, all I care about is my mates and going eating at the canteen, scabbing off people. I don't. Yeah,
not legit.
But I understand, bro. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and so, bro, I guess that was kind of like the way that we met. Yeah. That's how I met your parents, and it was funny. Not gonna lie, like I'm gonna be real, fam. Like I'm gonna be real, man. I don't want to be like holding grudges and stuff like that. But, bro, ever since then, man, like I started to realize that I was just walking away from you. I knew you were there, bro. I knew that you were around, but I don't know. I just felt like maybe I wasn't in the right place. You know, maybe during high school I was going through my own thing. But I'm just gonna be real, man. But the cool thing is, I get an opportunity right now to kind of make it up. You know, like we're doing the podcast right now, and even now we're following each other on our own journey. Like, like I love what you're doing, bro. And I feel like these are funny things, you know, in terms of journey. Like, if someone says to me, "Oh, how do you know stay hydrated?" Like, I was like, "Oh, his name's Luka," but like, and stuff like that. But these are cool, bro. I feel like the journey. You know, it's all about the journey. You know, the cool thing is we have a background story about each other, and about like how we kind of connected. And funny enough, it wasn't the best. You know, it wasn't like, you know, sunshines and rainbows, but that's all part of the story.
Yeah. Oh, well, Christian, bro, like, before we get into like all talks about editing, how did I want to know how you got into editing?
Oh, yo, yeah, sweet, man. Funny enough, bro. Usually for me, I'm just asking people the question.
Yeah. No, because I'm curious. Like even when I first saw you editing videos, I'm like, how the hell? Because I've never met anyone that edits videos, especially coming from Fairfield, you know.
Oh, 100%, bro. There's been honestly, man. Like it's not common in our area.
Yeah.
For those out there that are watching or listening, if you're out of state or out of the area or out of like the country, I'll give you kind of a bit of understanding of our like hood, as I would say. So in Fairfield, it's like I wouldn't say it's ghetto. Like it's not that ghetto. It's not like Brooklyn.
It's lower class though.
Yeah, but it's lower class. So like you know, like the school that we went to was like kind of Middle Eastern based. Like there was a lot of people from like from like we had the IAC and stuff like that. So just to kind of put a bit in context, like the area that we're in, you won't see much editors kind of doing their
creators in general,
and creators in general, right? Like you won't see much people doing vlogs. You won't be seeing you probably would see a lot of people doing highlights and stuff like that, but they won't put it out there.
Yeah.
Like I know that I've seen there's a lot of people that do editing, but they're too hesitant. Like, oh, I'm not going to do it because it's not normal in our area to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I guess a bit about how I kind of got onto it. I started editing actually, like when I was like 12.
Oh,
but that was on iMovie. You know what I mean? So I started I started editing videos through iMovie. And like I don't know if you remember this, bro, but back then, when you had iMovie, you could create trailers.
Oh yeah. No, I never used iMovie.
Yeah, I think it was iMovie. Yeah, so in iMovie, like back in the days, you're able to create either a trailer or a movie. And so I would create trailers and I would muck around, bro. I'll be like doing all these like fancy, like acting as if I'm the cameraman in a movie. And like I would act like, I'll just be mucking around. And then I started to realize that I actually I like creating things. And then like in terms of actually getting into like properly editing, it was in 2018. Yep. Like it was actually in 2018 when I started. No, sorry, not 2018, 2016 I started. But like in terms of like editing in Premiere Pro, because that's a software that we both use. I started using Premiere Pro properly in 2018. And then
so what were you creating like?
Oh, bro, I was actually creating like vlogs. I was wanting like people the people I used to follow still do to this day, but not as much as Casey Neistat. Yeah, like I used to follow him a lot, and I loved his kind of like his feel on doing vlogs and like the way he created it, and kind of sharing a story. So I would muck around, do vlogs like in 2016, 2017, just mucking around, and then in 2018 I started to learn a bit about editing with Premiere Pro, and then 2019 was actually this time last year where I actually started going proper.
Yeah,
like I invested into Premiere Pro, then I started to get into investing into like finding out like how to use it and like just kind of finding all the the tricks and stuff to it, and then but that's the way that's where it all started. Like was just through iMovie.
Yeah,
like way back, bro.
Wow. So how old were you? 12?
So I was 12 at the time where I started to like muck around. And I'm 22 now, so it's been 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So 10 years of like just here and there. Like I wasn't like kind of like full time, as I would say.
Yeah, that's mad because you can see like you always had kind of like a passion for it, of creating. So that's cool to hear.
Yeah, but like funny enough, I've always had it, and I've always had a passion for like taking photos and editing photos and editing videos. And funny enough, it was like when I was 12 years old, like my mom ended up getting like the iPhone 4. Like, and bro, back then iPhone 4s were like the iPhone 11s at the moment, like it was big. And so, the camera, like even that, bro, there was no such thing as wide camera.
Yeah.
Like there was no time lapse at that time, bro. You had to actually download an app that could time lapse.
Yeah. And
like even that Instagram wasn't even that good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Facebook was the big thing.
The days, bro.
No, legit, bro. Legit the days, man. So but that's kind of like where I started, and obviously ever since then I started to to obviously post things up, and like I'm enjoying it, man. I love it. I love posting content out there because at the end of the day, like I know that it's inspiring people.
Yeah,
On their craft.
Yeah, that's art, bro. We inspire each other, because what I do creatively, I take bits and pieces from what inspires me, whether it's music or movies and that. That's art, It's like recycling. It's like recycling,
Yeah, 100%, man. Like people kind of. Oh man, I had this one person saying to me like, "Oh, why are you copying this person?" And I was like, "Wait, what'd you say?" Okay, why are you copying this person? I was like, "Oh, I'm just copying their model. Like I'm just copying what they're doing. I'm not copying who they are. I'm just like taking their idea because they're successful and they've become successful. So as a result, I'm going to take their model. And I'm guessing that's something that you can relate to.
Yeah, 100. It's like a blueprint, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%, man. 100%, bro. And so, but bro, it's actually funny that I don't know. I'm still laughing about the way we met.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? I feel like I reckon if it was different, I don't think we'll be here doing this. You know what I mean?
Right? Like our paths lead us somewhere,
100%, man. I feel like it was all kind of meant to be.
Meant to be, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. And so, but yeah, bro, like you shared a bit about your upbringing, and even that, bro. I love that you shared about you being kind of comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
And so, bro, growing up, bro, how did you kind of take that approach? Was it easy for you? Was it hard?
Oh, nah, like it was just natural, because like growing up, it was because my dad worked a lot. He was a security guard late nights, so I was always at home with my mom, just hanging out at home, kicking back. So like it's always been like, kind of like my comfort zone, So I've always been that kind of guy,
Yeah. And so, bro, does your dad still work as a security guard?
He's a youth worker now, man.
Yeah, so he's moved into doing youth work. But before,
he was security guard, like from like, we worked in factories and security, but mostly security. Like when I was like from 4 to 6 maybe. But yeah, I've always been that lone wolf.
Yeah. And so, bro, knowing that you said that, bro, I'm actually happy that you didn't take an offense. Or did you?
What do you mean?
Like were you offended at all knowing that your dad wasn't around?
Nah, because like he'd come home, but like I was just most of the time by myself and my mom and my dad as well. But like, because like I was saying before, being the oldest, I didn't hang out with kids that were my age until I got to school, So I've always been in my own lane, just did my own thing, and I've always been comfortable with that to this day,
Yeah. And so, bro, would you say that because of the way that you were brought up, is the reason why you like doing the content creating?
100%. Like it's made me who I am. Like wherever you go in life, whether it's good or bad, like it makes you who you are today, And I hold that high, my past and how I've grown up. Hold that high because it's made me who I am now,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And bro, it's so cool, man, that you didn't see that, because I know that with some people out there, they may have been upset or hurt or saddened that their parents weren't there. In terms of like, because like you're mentioning about your father, he was always kind of going out and working and obviously trying to make ends meet for the family. But it's cool that you didn't take that offense, because I know that growing up, and this is for me, and I'm guessing that you could relate to this, but when it came to me growing up, all I wanted was time. Spending time, and I think it's cool that you didn't take that approach of like, oh, I'm offended that my dad's not around, so things like that. But you seen a different perspective.
Yeah, no, because like not like my dad was like gone, but like it was there. Not like it was there. Like just I spent more time by myself than with my mum. But I've always been cool with my dad. Like he's,
Yeah. Nah, it's really good, man. It's really good, bro. It's really good. And so, coming from growing up, even that, man, I want to talk a bit about like, in terms of, because we spoke a bit about your upbringing. I want to kind of get into more about like how you were growing up in high school.
Yeah.
Because that's something that we can both relate to, because we went to the same high school.
Yeah.
And so, bro, how was it for you growing up in high school?
I love the day. Like I was saying before, because I didn't go to Fairfield Primary, and majority of my year they all went to Fairfield Primary. So like I had to get out of my comfort zone and go conversate with people and that. And then like from the first day, I loved it. From the first day of high school, I loved growing up in Fairfield, especially growing up in Fairfield, like with all my mates and that. I've never had an issue in high school, man. I can't say that I've had about like 3 bad days going up in high school. I loved it.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Especially knowing that for you, you like to kind of be on your own, and do your own thing. And that's honestly, bro, that's the way I seen you.
Yeah.
Like when I first met you, like that's the way I seen you. Was like this guy just wants to be alone. It's not that he's wanting people around him. He just wants to be on himself. Like he's totally fine being by himself.
Mm. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so yeah, man. But like in terms of school, like, do you feel like when it came to you and going to school, like, was there any moments where you felt like, content creating was the big thing for me?
Ooh.
Like in high school, was there any like kind of what's it called, like a catalyst or a spark?
Well, I don't think. I think my close friends know this. Like growing up in high school, like I used to, because what I listen to like a lot of rap music, yeah. And like part of the rap music is like the aesthetic of it. So what I do back in high school, like I'd make like pages and like dedicate like posting like aesthetically good looking photos that relate to rap music and that kind of stuff. So like it's called like kind of like art galleries, but for Instagram. So I'd post a lot of that kind of stuff, and that kind of drove my creative buzz in that. Like if I could pick one thing, that'll be it.
Yeah, man. Because I feel like Stay Hydrated wouldn't be Stay Hydrated if it wasn't for the few other things that you've done beforehand.
Well, even like I don't think anyone's like heard his story. Back when I was playing footy, probably from under 9s to under 12s, what I'd do before game day or during game week, I'd watch highlight videos like to pump me up, but I hate the songs that they choose in the videos. So what I do is on one tab I'd put the video, but I'd mute it. And then the next tab, I'd open up a new tab and go on YouTube and find a song. Okay, what song would I choose? If I was to make a video, what song would I choose to put in the video? And I'd play that at the same time, put the audio on, skip back to the other tab with the video, and then think, oh yeah, I'd like it like this. Or especially putting the hits, and you make a big hit.
Yeah.
It's on the bass, like cutting with the beat, So like that's probably the thing that drove, earliest thing that drove me to be a editor,
That's mad, bro.
Yeah,
that's actually hectic. And bro, I'm actually on a similar buzz to you. Like, for me, I like when it comes to editing and stuff like that, you always gotta get the right music in. You can't just chuck in a random song, man. People don't realize this, bro. Like they think that it's all easy. I'm like, bro, the hardest thing I would say for me is finding the right music.
Yeah. Even like I seen you put on your page the other day, like audio is basically more important than the visuals,
Yeah,
like it drives the video.
100%, man.
Audio.
Like you or either way, like they both go hand in hand in terms of like videos, and like you want to have quality video and quality audio, but at the same time you need to understand that if you have a really nice camera or a really nice visual and you have the crappiest music, bro, your rating will go from like a 10 to a 0. Like I don't know, it just loses credibility.
Yeah.
That's what I started to realize.
Yeah, especially like what I do with the UFC and that, like it's hard, like aggressive, Yeah, fighting's aggressive. So like you choose the right beat, like especially for people that go on my Instagram. You look on the videos I have on my Instagram. This is a tip for editors out there: is cutting with the beat, editing with the beat. You can have all the fancy effects, but that kind of masks out what's really driving the video, and that's the audio. You cut with the aggressive beat and that kind of stuff, and that makes the video 10 times better,
bro. He's actually spot on. Like I'm gonna vouch for that and say yes, 100%. I 100% agree in that. Because it's funny. It actually creates suspense, and then it creates like once you see that hit, it's actually more appealing when you obviously cut it on the beat. Like obviously when someone punches and it's like goes at the beat, you're like, oh snap! Like oh okay.
Like I heard like something like the brain responds to So, like along the lines, the brain responds to like audio matching the video, something like that. So it's like naturally we're appealed to that, you know. We like that. We like seeing that kind of stuff. Cutting with the beat.
Yeah, and even that, like you know within yourself when people are watching and being like, "Bro, this is hectic." Like you know straight away that you're doing well when people start sharing it.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
Like when people start sharing your videos and sharing your content, that's when it becomes like real big.
Yeah,
that's when you know you're actually making like progress.
And that's what kind of drives me, you know, like seeing people support my stuff and like see what I can do. Like it makes me want to get better. Like, oh, I want not showing off, but like it drives me. It's like fuel, you know. When you see your work you're putting out, it's getting loved and getting supported. Like it makes me want to do it 10 times better each video, you know.
Yeah, no, legit, man. Which is amazing, bro. And like, bro, I've seen your videos, man, and like it's cool because I'm like, okay, this guy knows the deal. Like he knows how to, like, you know, kind of engage the audience. Because that's all you want to do. Like when it comes to creating content, you want to engage the audience. It's like it's cool if you want to do it for you, but you're wanting to more so focus on the audience because they're the one that's going to give you the response of like, I want more.
Yeah. Well, like for me, like I do. For like 80% of it, I do focus on me. I do me first. I always focus. I couldn't care less what people say, but at the same time, I do care what they say because I want my work to be put out there. You know, I want my work to be worth it. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, legit, man. And like, I think that's the reason why you got to balance it out. Like you have to balance it out in terms of like you do need to make sure that it's you and that it's something that you want. But you also need to understand that, like, it's for the people too. So you need to put that into consideration. You know, take a bit of feedback. You know, people are gonna probably say like, "Oh, you can probably do a bit better," but then it's up to you whether or not you take it.
Yeah.
Especially as a creator, like you're gonna be creating stuff, and that's what you've been doing, bro. You've been creating, you know, these videos and putting it out there, and you may be getting some flashbacks, or you know, people kind of going back at you being like, oh, you know, could have done better or sort of things like that. But for you, like, you can take that as constructive criticism.
Yeah, 100. You know? Yeah. Like,
just take it to help you out.
Yeah. Like, I barely don't want to be like on my host, but like, I haven't really received that much. Probably in my earlier days, maybe. Oh yeah, this is one story. So I had a video on my YouTube. This was ages ago, like last year, and it was one of my biggest at the time. Was like 1 million views, and people. To my subscribers knowing, they probably know it. It's called Israel Adesanya Handles Bullies and Haters. And everyone loved that video. But I hated it because I didn't know, as we were talking about before, the importance of audio. And in the beginning of the video, it was like a song playing and Israel, the guy that's in the video, was talking. And the music was like taking over the audio. And then I seen a lot of people saying, what the hell is he? I can't hear what he's saying. And that made me think, right, I need to work on that. So I deleted the video. And ever since then, people say, oh, we want the video back. But like, just to go back what we were talking about before, how important the audio is to the video, man. So that's probably the only constructive criticism that really pushed me to, you know, get better.
Wow. Right, thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah.
Because that's true. People don't realize like the struggles that we go through as creators, Like we always want to make sure that our product or the videos that we're creating are quality.
Yeah, but we need that. You know, we need that criticism, especially self-criticism as well. Like I look back at my old videos, I'm like, bro, who's editing this, man?
just cringe, eh?
Yeah. But like that's the journey, you know. That's how you get better.
No, 100%. And I feel like if you didn't, just imagine if you were still sitting in that place of like, oh, should I do it?
Yeah.
Right? Or like, should I start editing now? Should I start putting my stuff out? Bro, I'm telling you, StayHydrated wouldn't have been a thing. Honestly, I'm telling you, bro. It wouldn't have been a thing if you didn't just chuck yourself out there. Yeah, and I feel like it's always like, you always just got to start.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
But that's like the thing with growing, bro. You just got to start, you know? If you want to work out on that, just start. Get the ball rolling, as we were talking about before the podcast.
Yeah.
Cold shower gets the ball rolling for the morning, you know, the momentum. So just start. Like, to be a creator, just start.
Yeah. No, legit, man. And so, bro, what I want to do now is I want to start talking a bit more about, we've already been discussing about it. I want to start talking more about content creating in general. People kind of get a bit of gist on who you are and certain things like that. I want to get much into the content creating side of things, and so when it comes to you creating content, what's the whole vision behind it?
To be honest, expressing who I am.
Yeah.
With my inspirations and that, like I get a lot of inspirations like watching movies, and when I watch a movie and I see something cool, like a cool cut, I'm like, bro, I want to try that in my next video. And I have a journal and I like just write ideas down and that kind of stuff. So it's just the expression of who I am. If I listen, especially like with the videos I make, the music I put in, it's music I like, music I enjoy, music I listen to on the daily. So yeah, it's just the expression of who I am and my influences that drives me.
Yeah, bro. I love that you mentioned about movies.
Yeah,
bro, because that's exactly what I do.
Yeah. How to
it's funny because for me, I have like two sides of like when I go in. Like when I go in to watch a movie, I have kind of two kind of objectives, right? Obviously, the first one is to watch it, for what it is. But then I'm also figuring out like how, like how did they create that like an effect, or how did they like? I'm always analyzing it. It's something I've been doing for like a while. Like as in like ever since I was young, I'd always kind of analyze and be like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Like, but that's what we need to do as content creators, learn and see how we talked about before, getting inspirations from other people, It's like recycling ideas and that kind of stuff. It's good, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. And so, man. So, like, how long have you actually been? How long? Like, I'll probably say more so on your heart. Like, how long has it been since you? So you started. When did you start? Doing it
editing.
Editing videos.
Late 2018.
So late 2018. Yeah. Where did you feel like it kind of sparked in your heart to do it?
Like I was saying before about the footy star, the highlight story there. But honestly, like I don't know, man. Like I was sitting around one day, just sitting down. I'm like, bro, I feel like editing a video, and then I typed up three editing softwares. And then from there, I just started editing UFC videos. It was like late, probably November 2018. And then when I made the video, that same day, that's when I created StayHydrated. And then ever since that day, I've been creating StayHydrated, that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's mad, bro. And so, bro, talking about stay hydrated, bro, what's the like you're I'm gonna ask you, bro. About like talk to us about Stay Hydrated, bro. What's that all about?
Because like my mates will know me, I was on this buzz of just drinking soda water. Like I drink water as well, but like I cut out all the soft drinks. I barely drink soft drinks anymore. And then I just so on Xbox I was playing UFC, the game, and I wanted to make a new account because my record on my original account was trash. It was like bad record. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you have to make a new account, new gamer tag. So I just think, and then I just off the top of my head I went Stay Hydrated, and then it just stuck from then. Honest, ever since that day. Yeah,
that's mad, bro. Like I feel like there's always a story behind certain names. Like people ask me like what does Siwasuli mean? Like why is it like that, and why isn't it just like your name? And it's funny because it's like for me, my story is that when I created Siwasuli in terms of my Instagram page, that was like a new beginning for me. I kind of like me showing the real self of who I am. Not to say that I was fake the whole time, but I reckon there was I kind of placed a limit. I placed a limitation on what I was going to share. So it was actually in 2018 where I actually created a new Instagram page, and I renamed it Siwasuli. Had no clue what I was doing, but I knew that I wanted to change my name.
Were you content creating then with that page or not?
Nah, so that honestly, bro, like this. Oh man, I'm laughing, bro, just even thinking about it. But I was just putting photos up, like just like a normal Instagrammer. But then it wasn't until this year, so 2020, where I started to put content out there and start being serious. Like my goal this year was to bro. Funny enough, my goal was just to start vlogging, like start getting back into the vlogs, and then And the reason why I say starting back, because I was doing it before, but it wasn't consistent. And like we both know, in terms of consistency, that's the important thing.
Yeah,
isn't putting content out there. Like, you don't want to just stop, because then that's when people are gonna start stopping, like, in terms of stop following you. You know,
yeah.
because like they're not getting any value. So, yeah, man. Like, in saying that, like, it was roughly around 2019 in terms of my name. No, sorry, 2018. But then in terms of actually creating content, it was like this year, at the start of this year. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like there's a real importance in terms of name. Like, I seen your name on Instagram and also on YouTube, and I'm like, bro, what the heck does Stay Hydrated mean? and it's cool, bro, because it gets people thinking, and then you get to share that story.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I was just playing Xbox, and I just said, oh, yeah, just Stay Hydrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, has there been any people that have been asking the same question?
What, about the name? Heaps, bro. Like, every time I bring up that I make YouTube videos, and they say, "Oh, what's your channel called?" I go, "Oh, StayHydrated Visuals." They look at me like I'm a weirdo, but then I have to give the same story. Like, "Oh yeah, because I do drink water. That's all I drink."
Yeah.
That helps with the story. But I say, the same story I told you about the Xbox thing. And that. Yeah.
Bro, it's mad, bro, because bro, can you share a bit about, bro, because I reckon this would be really cool for the audience and for your people to know. So, knowing that you mentioned about staying hydrated, right? What actually made you stay hydrated?
Drink water.
Yeah, like what? Because you said that, like, you know, it's obviously not something that you've done for your whole life. Like, it was a choice that you had made. So, like, what made you make that decision?
I don't know. Like, I just got sick of drinking soft drinks, you know, and then I started drinking soda water, and then I cut out soda water. I just drink water. So, like, ever since I started cutting out soft drinks, that's when I started pushing it, you know, staying hydrated, you know.
Yeah, and bro, does that make you feel different now?
Drinking water?
Yeah, drinking water. Like, bro, I feel like this is something that would be really good for those out there listening. You know, do you feel like it's different?
Yeah. Like, makes me feel fresher. Like, I got a water bottle next to me right now. Like, whenever I'm editing, I'm always drinking water. Just like, I don't know, it just feels right, you know. Like, what is it? 80-90% of our body is made of water. It's just logical to drink water.
Yeah.
Like, we're made to drink water. So, oh man, I feel good drinking it.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated, fam.
Yeah, bro.
No, but that's mad, man. And so, bro, I wanna kind of dive into more so the BTS side.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, the behind the scenes work that you do, and so obviously, like, you have a certain flow of what you do in terms of routine, bro. So could you kind of share a bit about, like, how your routine is, man? Like, in terms of, like,
editing routine, or
like, even like processes, you know, how you process, you know, your thoughts, and how does it become the result that you're putting out there?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So I got a journal. So what I do, I'd write down what I want to, like, the next video I'm planning to do, and I'll write down 3 things. What do I need to achieve? What am I showing to the audience? So I'd write it down, and then I'd write down in dot points what ideas I have. Because the first 3 things, they're more of the storytelling part, what I want to show, but the rest is like what I want to do with the effects, or how I want to cut things and that. And then I do it. I write it down, and then I'd go surfing on YouTube what videos, what clips I want to use in the video, the final product.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think of the song. I download the song, and then as I'm in the process, I just blast the song on repeat. So in my mind, subconsciously, I think of how I'm going to edit it. So that's my process, bro.
That's mad, bro.
Yeah.
I love that flow, man. I love that workflow, because you're actually putting yourself in it.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually experiencing it first before you start putting it out there.
It's like, even like, if I'm like I was saying about the song, for the rest of the week until I finish it, I keep on listening to that same song just to see, okay, how am I going to cut this, that kind of stuff. So it's good. Like, that's probably a big part of my videos, especially like the music choices. Like, all my subscribers will know the music. That's like, they're always commenting, "Oh, I love the music choices," and that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I love it, bro, because you're pretty much stating that, like, preparation is key.
Oh, 100%. Like,
if you don't prepare, then obviously you're not going to get the results.
Yeah, when I started editing videos, I wasn't really writing. I just go off the top. I just freestyle it.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking it more seriously. Now I know, bro, I got to make this the best I can. So I'm more in depth with it, you know?
Yeah.
Key, bro.
And I reckon that's really important too. That's really important, not just in creating videos, but in life in general.
Yes, yeah.
You know, like you need to prepare yourself. It's like I feel like we're talking about this earlier, and I want to touch it like touch base on kind of what you do in terms of, because I don't know. I feel like in order for you to continue to do these videos, in order for you to continue creating these highlights and being a content creator, there's gonna be moments where you're gonna feel like you want to quit. You know, there's gonna be moments where you don't want to do it, and I reckon 100% there's been the time where you started on a project and you're like, I don't know if I want to finish this.
Bro, I had this video out. I was supposed to I made a trailer for it, like what a hero. I was being a hero. I made the beginning part of the film, and I was like, bro, I gotta do a snippet to this. This is so good. It's gonna be the best video ever made. This was a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, and I worked my butt off for about 4 weeks trying to make this. Oh, this is gonna be the best. I watched the final product. I was like, what the hell? And I'm not gonna release it, bro. Like, I don't want to release something I know it's not, my heart's not in it, you know. But like, I think I was going through a bit of burnout, you know. Sometimes you go a bit too overboard with it.
Yeah.
I realized that with that video, I was trying too hard with it. Now I'm back in the state of just going with the flow, kicking back, just, you know. Yeah. But I have gone through that burnout feeling.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have too.
Oh, bro, 100%, bro. There's always, I want to say always, like now I'm a lot more better.
Yeah.
I'm way more better now. Reason why I am is because I'm a lot more conscious about myself. And I guess as creators, like we understand the importance of, you know, making sure that we're okay and that we're well. Because if we're not well, then obviously our content's not going to be well. We're not going to be delivering
that's
content out there.
Good point, bro.
Yeah. And like that's the reason why, bro. I want to touch base more so on your routine, well, not much so on your editing, but more so on your life. Like
that's a good question. Yeah.
Like how's life with StayHydrated going?
So recently I've been pushing myself to stick to morning routines. So this is basically my morning routine. I wake up early, probably 7:30.
Yeah.
And I saw what you were talking about the other day on your Instagram. Get off the phone. Don't touch that phone when you wake up, bro. And I've been trying to push my mind, don't touch that phone. So I wake up early, okay, have coffee, have some wheat bix and that. Then I write down in my journal, not my creative journal, not my editing journal. I got a personal journal for me.
Yeah.
And I always write down 3 goals I want to achieve for the day. And then that just sets me off, drink the coffee, eat, then I go for the cold shower. And then, like we were talking about before, it gets the ball rolling. Because it's like a sense of achievement, you know?
Yeah.
So my mind's telling me, don't get in that cold shower, bro. Turn the hot water on. And that, like, when you get in there, it's cold, but when you get out, it's like, oh my God, I did it, you know? And that just gets the ball rolling. And then I finish the shower, work out, shower again later on. And then come back, edit, and then write down in my journal. That's my day, basically.
Yeah, but that's really good, man. I feel like, and like this is me going based on experience, but you'd know this for sure. It is so important to have a routine.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Like I started to realize in my content creating, I started to create better, valuable content just based on me starting off well in the day. If I start off well in the day, man, everyone's gonna feel it. But
not just content creators, like everyone should be doing that, bro. It's
legit,
like must, man. It's amazing how you feel for the rest of the day. You get that morning right, that sets you off, bro.
Yeah, legit, man. And I feel like for you, you're probably in a better state now.
Yeah.
Knowing that you've got a routine flowing.
It's like a sense of achievement, like knowing, bro, I can set my mind to whatever. I can do whatever my mind's telling me, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's mad, bro. Now, it's good, man. It's good that you have a routine because it's very important as a content creator. I know myself, I'm starting to realize that in myself that having a morning routine is important, not just as a creator, but in life in general.
In life, yeah.
We want to have that in life in general. But I've actually got a few questions I want to ask you, and it's actually specifically based on your videos. Now, when you're creating videos, right? Like you're actually editing certain athletes.
Yep.
Right, and so one of the ones that I knew that had a big impact to you was Israel. So did you want to kind of share a bit about that?
Okay, this is a good story because Israel, he was born in Nigeria, but moved to New Zealand like when he was, I don't know how old he was, but he actually moved to the town that I'm from, the Rotorua. So he grew up there, moved to Wanganui, I think, and then moved to Auckland. And like I think because you're Māori too, yeah.
Yo.
Like we always connect with other, especially like when they're not Māori.
Yeah.
When they rep it, they're from another country, but they rep being from New Zealand. Like it's like a no-brainer for me to support them, to support our fellow Kiwis, bro. And then he grew up in the UFC scene, because I've always loved UFC. And then seeing him come through, I'm like, bro, this guy's from Rotorua. He's from the same town as me. And then that just stuck with me. But like, I gotta support him. So yeah, like when I make videos, I feel like my best work comes out when I like the fighter. When I don't like doing videos where not saying I don't like the fighters, but if I'm passionate about who I'm making, it's gonna make the video so much better because I'm putting all my all into it, you know.
Yeah. And so, yeah, man, like that's amazing to see that, like that's your why behind, your relationship with Israel. And I know that he's been connecting with you.
Yeah, I think because we've gone back and forth in the DMs, and he likes my work. He says I'm the best in the game. That's what he says. I appreciate that, bro. And I think we have something coming up. I don't want to spill the beans in that, but I don't want to as well. But and since of COVID, bro, oh my gosh, like I could have been there by now. I could have been in New Zealand filming, but it all happens for a reason, bro. So I might have something happening with him in the future.
Yeah, that's mad, bro. And like, bro, that's so cool, man. It's so cool to see that. Due to your passion, your passion behind, creating has enabled you to create content for athletes or like people in the UFC or UFC fighters, and then come to a point where the UFC fighter knows you based on your work.
It's amazing, bro. Especially when it's your favorite fighter. It's like
100%, man.
It's like growing up playing basketball and Michael Jordan like knows who you are. I'm like, Israel Adesanya knows who I am, and he enjoys my work. It's amazing, bro. Amazing.
Honestly, bro, it's no greater feeling, man, to have like the people that you I wouldn't say are inspired to be, but just inspiring. Like they're just being inspiring to you. Yeah. The work that they do, their story. And bro, I love that you spoke about his background. Yeah. Because that's what you resonate with him. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. It sounds to me that the reason why you have a connection with him is because of his story, not because of the glory. Yeah, harder. Because he has a mean story, like, and I can relate to him as well, because going back to my upbringing, like, him being an outcast, because he was also oldest of his family as well. But, like, growing up in Rotorua, there's, like, only Māoris there. Yeah. And he's the only African, like, because there's stories on YouTube and documentaries about him growing up, and he got bullied heaps in Rotorua. And that's made him who he is now, Like, because especially, because Israel is very unique, and I can relate to that. Very unique. Like, he's not like a typical fighter, like, oh, I'm a strong guy, this and that. Like, he's used what he's, like, the path to greatness, from his past, makes him who he is now. And that's everyone in general. Yeah. That's mad, bro. That's mad. It's mad that you have that relatability with him, that you have that some sort of connection. Because I feel like if you didn't have that connection, then you wouldn't have been in the position that you're in right now. Yeah, harder. And like, this is a story. I think some people will know. So his fight when he won the belt, it was in Melbourne, and they have this open workouts thing. I went to the fight, but before the fight, they have like open workouts. The fans can come in and like see him work out on stage. And Israel was working out, and I was right at the front. Right, I got there like 3 hours early. I wanted to see. I wanted to be there. Yo. And there's this guy next to me, and Israel said, "Okay, he's on stage. I'm gonna give out these gloves to someone in the audience." And he came and he started coming towards me. I'm like, oh, this is before he knew who I was. I was like, oh, Israel's coming to me, and I was like, yeah, to me. And he came right to the guy right next to me and gave it to him. I'm like, oh my goodness. Once he found out who I was, like through videos and that, I hit him up about it, and I sent him the screenshot. There's a screenshot of me. I'm like this. Yeah.
And then that's how we connected as well.
Yeah, that's mad, bro. It's mad to see that, like, you have that connection, like, just like actually full connection now. Like, I was seeing like him commenting on your stuff, and I was just like, that's amazing. Like, as a creator, your goal is just to express. You know how you're talking about expressing yourself, but it becomes more of a bonus when the people that you're creating the content for knows who you are.
Yeah, especially 100%. Like
it's an amazing feeling.
Like it all pays off, you know. It's like a fulfillment. Like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. And so knowing that you have that relationship with Israel, what's kind of the things that you guys I wouldn't say do, but like, in terms of the conversations, like, how does it feel knowing that he knows you, and like is there like kind of some sort of like plan or like highlights that you guys plan on, or is it just something that you continue to do?
I don't like like what we said.
Yeah,
like the basis basically is I've talked to him and asked him, can I help because he already has a team that helps him film that. I was like, oh, like, can I join you guys, or like just give you a hand? And he said, eventually we'll work together. And I told him, oh, I can fly over and help you out, but he said, because of COVID restrictions, I can work from here and probably like edit videos for them and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan basically.
Yeah, nice.
We're waiting for the message,
Yeah, that's mad, bro. Yeah. It's funny, bro, because sometimes you just gotta get yourself out there.
Yeah, harder.
And just make yourself available. Like, one thing I believe in is the greatest ability that you can ever have in life is availability.
Yeah.
Just being available. And the fact that you're doing that, bro, and you're opening yourself up, bro, you never know what's gonna happen here, man.
Yeah, harder.
Honestly, bro.
Path, bro, it's the path.
Legit, man. Like, I don't know if you heard much about, have you heard the story about The Rock's content creator?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. But go on about it.
Yeah, that bro. He like, in
the crowd or something.
Yeah. So he was just like, he would watch like wrestling. He would like pretty much follow The Rock, and then like a few years later, this guy's literally right next to him, going everywhere.
That's amazing, bro.
Like, bro, imagine that happening to you, bro. Like these are like people. I feel like people want to be like, in terms of like The Rock analogy and his content creator, which I forgot his name. I need to know his name. Like, some people want to be The Rock.
Yeah,
I mean, they want to be the face, right? But sometimes it's like they're probably not called to be the face. They're probably called to be the one that makes the face, like as in like the face become the face. In terms of The Rock,
he cuts pretty good. He's a good editor.
Oh, bro, he's hectic, man.
Yeah,
but I've been following a bit about on his stuff.
Yeah, is he the photographer? Or?
He's the he's like the content creator, so he does more of the videos like for him. But hectic, bro. Yeah. Like, obviously, if you see his videos, in terms of The Rocks,
even the video when he's talking about that, I was like, bro, this is cut very well, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. So, like, it's cool, man. It's cool what can happen when you allow your passion to drive you.
But I also think talking about reaching out, and I think there's a limit as well. Like, I didn't want to message Israel and say, "Oh, let me work for you. I wanted to work my way up to that,
Yeah, come on, man.
He actually hit me up. Or recently, we started talking again. He hit me up, and then that's when I knew, okay, I think this is the time now, because I think there's a limit to trying to message, because I've even people messaging me, and like my fans and my subscribers, I appreciate it, but like sometimes like there's people that just push, and then I'm not even that famous. This guy has like 2.7 million followers. I don't want to push.
Yeah.
Can I work for you? I gotta work my way to that,
Yeah. I love that, bro. I love your heart, man. I love the way that you see it, because it's all about like, you got to work hard for it.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that it's something that you deserve, and something that that you, in terms of results, like you've got every evidence to back you up to say that yes, this is it. Like, this is the reason why. This is the reason why I should be messaging him.
Yeah, 100.
And stuff like that. And so, yeah, man, bro. I'm actually excited, bro. I'm actually excited to see what happens with you. I mean, in terms of like the UFC, creating highlights and stuff, bro. You never know. You may get signed up. Yeah. That's the thing, man. You never know what can happen.
Yeah.
I think all it is just providing content out there.
Yeah. Well, I got a long way to go. I got to keep evolving, keep learning. Because like one thing I think you relate. One thing I need to really start pushing is color correction. I don't. I never color my videos, and like I've seen people talk about it like that's essential to editing. I gotta, because I know the basics of editing now. Like I know the tools and all that kind of stuff. I just need to start focusing in a little bit more on color correcting. So there's always stuff to learn, bro.
Yeah. 100%, man. And so, bro, like in this podcast, man, I want to get into a stage right now where I want to know what was the biggest setback that you went through in terms of content creating. You know, what like of all the videos that you've made and all the highlights and even just creating content, was there any time where you knew straight away, like, bro, I literally want to quit? Because you mentioned about a burnout season, or that season where you felt burnt out.
I haven't really felt like I ever wanted to quit, but like what happened a couple months ago, like I was talking to you about that video I was making. I busted my ass for like 4 weeks straight, and that period, that's when I started feeling like, bro, I gotta start relaxing it a little bit. Because I was pushing too hard, and then working for that 4 weeks straight, and then not releasing the video, and that slowed down my momentum of my YouTube subscribers and that, or like my viewers. And then just that, because I used to like upload like maybe twice a month.
Yep.
And then ever since when I started working on that video for 4 weeks, and I stopped, that slowed down my momentum. And it slowed down kind of my confidence kind of thing. I was like, am I losing it? You know, am I losing my creativity? And that's when I need to know, okay, I just got to relax a little bit, calm it down. Don't have to focus all my mind on editing, just kick back. But that's probably the lowest point. Well, it wasn't that low, but if I had to say the lowest point, probably be that couple months ago.
Yeah. And so knowing that you went through that, bro, knowing that you went through a moment where you were feeling burnout and, you know, like wanting to just let it all go, like what made you continue?
Just
what was
knowing
your why?
Just knowing I know where I'm going to go. Just knowing that I'm better. I'm so much better than what I am, you know. I'll push myself kind of thing. Even if you make a couple of videos just and they're not that good, it's good just to see that, okay, this is what I have to work on, you know?
Yeah.
So just pushing myself, basically, knowing that, bro, I know where I'm going to be. If I just keep going, I'm not going to stop that.
Yeah, 100%, man. And so, knowing that, like, you know, you've shared about your setback that you had previously and burning out and feel like wanting to let it go. What's one thing that you've learned? What's one thing that you've learned from being burnt, kind of getting to that burning stage of wanting to quit?
Probably over analyzing stuff. I tried to make that video the most perfect video I can ever do, and it was just terrible. I just gotta let it flow, you know. That's what we do as creators. Just do what's on our mind. Just kick back, create. And I was just pushing to be the best I can be. And I don't think, in my opinion, that's not how I should work. I just gotta relax, and however I feel at the moment, that's what I'm gonna put out, you know. That's what's gonna make it the best. And I wasn't feeling that good, so no.
Yeah, no, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for sharing that, bro. I think over analyzing things in general. You know, one thing I believe in is it's a saying. It says complexity is the enemy of execution, which means like the things that you make that are complex, bro, will actually rob you from actually getting things done.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I remember, bro, when I used to create content, bro, I used to make it so complex for me that I didn't realize. Like, I felt like my ego was taking control of me, saying like, "Oh, you should make it hard, so then when you complete it, you can tell people that it was this hard and I overcame this." But then I started to realize, I'm like, that is the most dumbest thing that you can do as a content creator, is to make something so complex.
Keep it simple, you know?
Like, just keep it simple.
Yeah.
and not like over analyze, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's something that people that are listening right now can possibly relate to if you're a content creator or even just in life in general. If you're and you're just listening on like this as a follower, like always understand that at the end of the day, like keep everything simple.
Yeah.
Obviously, simple and easy aren't the same, right? Like don't compare simple to easy because it's not the same, but it's very simple to do. For us, editing, like content creating and editing is very simple.
Yeah.
Right? You grab your ID, you journal it, you plan it, you produce it, and then you deliver. Like you deliver out there. That's it. You keep doing that over and over and over and over again. Yeah. And there's some moments where it becomes boring, but it's simple, but not easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's something that you can relate to, bro?
Yeah, bro. Like, especially like saying keeping it simple, but like keeping it simple like as a routine, but also realizing when you're looking back at it, because this is what I do. This is how I get better. I look back at what I did poorly, and then you look back and then you're like, okay, I got to fix this, but still keeping it simple.
Yeah,
I got to fix it. What I did before, still keeping it simple. Just fixing the little. It's all about the little things and taking it slow, man. Taking it slow.
Yeah. No, legit, man, legit, bro. So, knowing that you've shared all this stuff, everything, bro, you've actually shared a lot, like on the podcast, man. What's the end goal for this, man? Like, is there an actual end goal that you have right now?
Yeah, like for one of my goals this year is to be a full-time editor. I don't want to work for a job that I'm not passionate about.
Come on, man.
I want to express myself and get paid for it. I've got a passion for editing, and that's my main goal for this year is just to have a full-time job editing. Eventually, I want to drift off and make my own like visuals company.
Yep.
Like because I want to make a documentary, sports documentaries. That's one of my biggest goals, and that's I'm planning to do that in a couple of years. But yeah, my end goal for this year is to be a full-time editor.
Yep. And then obviously the actual real goal is to be a sports documentary. So like things like The Last Dance and stuff, is that something that you're wanting?
Yeah, The Last Dance, that's one of my favorite. So cut well, bro. It's beautiful, man.
Even the storytelling, The
storytelling, like I love documentaries, to be honest, like especially sports documentaries. Have you seen what's the LeBron one? And it's about LeBron growing up in high school with his I think it's called the Fab Five. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one, bro.
Like ever since I watched it when I was young, I was like, bro, I feel like I connect more with documentaries because it's a real story and you're connected with the character. Man, I love documentaries. I'm planning to do that in the future, man.
Yeah, mad, bro. Bro, I'm actually excited to see where that goes, man. And it'll be cool. So then we know when people ask, like, oh, I want to know more about, Luka, like about how he done it. It's like, bro, just check out this podcast a couple of years ago he done. It's like all the answers are in there, man.
What's cool? I can see the future.
Yeah, yeah, man. But other than that, bro, we're gonna slowly start wrapping up this podcast, man. But I've actually really enjoyed this conversation.
Hey, bro.
I feel like it hits different, man, when you talk to someone that is very like-minded.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities that we have, and also a lot of differences. And it's cool that for us we resonate well. Like, we live in the same area. Like, we were brought up in a similar area too, a similar background. And even that, bro, we're going through a similar journey, Like, you're in a moment now where you're starting to build your own kind of routine in terms of creating content, but also routine in life. And I feel like that's really important at the end of the day.
It is, especially for a state of mind, peace of mind. I recommend it for everyone out there, man.
Yeah. Legit, man. And so, as we start to wrap up, man, like the last thing I love to do, and I love doing this, man, because I feel like people get touched by the end of it, is I love to, allow the special guests to have an opportunity to share a bit of something that's on their heart right now, or even that, like whatever we're doing through the podcast, there might be something on your heart right now, bro. So, is there any kind of encouragement that you can share to those that are listening or watching?
Well, I'd say this for content creators, but I think it's for people in general. I really think individuality is really important in life and in content creating, especially content creating. You got to set yourself apart from the rest,
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest thing for me, and that's what's helped me along the way. Just I like we were saying before, recycling from other people's ideas, but making it into my own aesthetic or my own visuals, you know? Just individuality, trusting yourself, keep pushing, because at the end of the day, you only got you know? So yeah, you got you, keep doing you. That's it.
Yeah, man. Bro, I'm getting encouraged by that, man. Especially as a creator, man. Like that, those are things that you want to hear. You want to hear. You want to hear those things, and so yeah, man, bro. I want to say, man, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much for taking out the time.
Thanks for having me on, bro. It's an honor, man. I really appreciate it.
No, it's all good, bro. So, bro, how can if anyone wants to connect with you, man? What's the best way that they can connect with you?
Instagram, hit me up, DM me. My Instagram is StayHydrated.mp4. Hit me up, ask me any questions. Yeah, that's probably the place. So you can follow me, or you can subscribe on my YouTube, Stay Hydrated Visuals. Yeah, just type up Stay Hydrated, it'll be there on YouTube.
Yeah, sweet. So, guys, for those that are listening to this on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts, just check out on Instagram. He'll be featured on there. And so, yeah, just go into our following and you'll see him down there. Just, obviously type in StayHydrated.mp4. And for those that are watching this on YouTube, make sure you guys check in our links down below in the description, and we'll have his link in there, and that will be cool. But guys, that is all that we got for this podcast. Luka, bro, thank you so much for joining on, man. I reckon this was something that was like in the making of just like we're just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, that was a good chat, bro. I really appreciate it because this is our first time like connecting together, you know?
Yeah, like properly, hey.
I appreciate it, man.
Nah, all good, man, all good. But yeah, guys, that is all that we got. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, bro, for jumping on, and we'll see you guys in the next one.